rotation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Wisconsin.
Beautiful night for baseball here at Miller Park. Another very important series about to begin for the Milwaukee Brewers as they welcome in their rival St. Louis Cardinals here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Two very successful pitchers going toe-to-toe. All-star Lance Lynn looking for his 12th win, and Mike Fiers, who has been the biggest surprise of the Brewers starting staff so far this young season. Hi, everybody. Alongside Jerry Augustine, I'm Craig Kashan as we welcome you back to the broadcast here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. The Brewers staying in contention largely due to what the starting rotation's been able to do, even with starters in and out. Right now, as of lately, it has been the strikeout kings of Yovani Gallardo and Marco Estrada. They have combined now for 25 strikeouts over the last two games during their starts.
Well, when you look at those two guys, it all starts, first of all, with command of your pitches. You must be able to command your pitches and be able to throw them all for strikes. Secondly is getting ahead of hitters. The one thing you see out of those two guys the last two ball games is getting in ahead of hitters. First pitch strikes, getting ahead, being able to use all those pitches. Very much a factor why those two guys pitch the ball very well.
Yovani with 14 strikeouts yesterday. That ties second most in club history with Moose Haas. And now Mike Fiers is going to take the ball tonight. He has thrown his amount of strikeouts, but check it out. The Brewers at the top of the board in the majors, fanning 774 opponents. Still to come, the heat is on in more ways than one these days with Mike Fiers being Rock. Talk about tonight's starter as we get you set for the Cardinals and Brewers Game 1 next.
By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota. When you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. Monday night here at Miller Park, Milwaukee, just about set for baseball. Mike Fiers making his 8th career start tonight. The rookie against Lance Lynn, the All-Star. He was a reliever last year, a very good one. Cardinals turned him into a starting pitcher, his 20th career start this evening. Ryan Braun still fronts the list in National League home runs. Ryan Braun, Carlos Beltran, two of the great home run hitters. They'll be matching up in this series. Carlos Beltran not in the lineup tonight, by the way, for the Cardinals. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us tonight. Brewers did get some disappointing news earlier today with no Zach Greinke. Greinke will not pitch on Wednesday. He's going to be bumped back into the Philadelphia series, so that leaves a hole in the starting rotation. And Rock, the Brewers are going to send out 2 rookies against the heavy-hitting St. Louis Cardinals. Mike Fiers is first up.
Yeah, it's going to be a good test for both of them, but Mike Fiers certainly has passed all the tests so far. When you look at his start so far, 7 of them, 5 of them have been very good. His last 4 outstanding numbers, an ERA under 1. The walk to strikeout ratio for Fiers this year has been outstanding. Able to get that fastball by hitters. The key to his success, throwing curveballs, change-ups early in the count. The old adage, throwing fastballs strike for strikes early in the count, so you don't have to throw them late in the count.
Well, Fiers will match up against the heavy-hitting Cardinals, the best offensive team in the National League. A lot of home runs expected in this series. It's game 1. Brewers, Redbirds. It's coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Leads the Brewers out onto the field at Miller Park. Brewers Cardinals, the last 2 teams standing in the National League last season. As the Brewers match up against the reigning world champs, and Mike Fiers to face Mike Matheny's Redbirds. They're coming in here having gotten swept, I beg your pardon, by the Cincinnati Reds in a 3-game series over the weekend. 46-43, just 3 games over 500. Matheny's batting order today brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Rafael Percal, Skip Schumacher, Matt Holliday at the top. No Beltran tonight. Alan Craig, Yadier Molina, and David Freese with Matt Carpenter, Daniel Descalso, and Lance Lynn rounding it out. And Mike Fiers is on the mound. Rock, his 9th game, his 8th start in the big leagues.
Outstanding numbers for Mike Fiers, a 2.31 earned run average. Look at the walks to strikeout ratio, about 5-1 for Fiers. His last 3 starts, we talked about him on our open, and the ERA under 1.
Fiers facing all-star Rafael Percal. And the game's first pitch is in there for strike 1. Away we go from Miller Park. Another hot day in Milwaukee. Very warm evening here, humid. Cardinals actually come to Milwaukee to cool off here. It has been well over 100 in their last few home games, and a bit of a reprieve today, but it's still extremely hot here in Wisconsin. 95 degrees with the game's first pitch here today. For call into center field, and closing fast is Gomez. Oh, what a great catch, and what a way to start the ball game tonight. A gem defensively by the Brew Crew. Gomez in center with Aoki and Braun flanking him. It's Ramirez, Ransom, Weeks, and Hart around the infield, with Martin Maldonado doing the catching. Bernard's Brewers defense, and how about a great play to get this game started tonight?
Yeah, if you don't make that catch, you have to make sure you keep it in front of you. You don't want that ball going to the wall. For a call, might have been able to circle the bases.
And that'll bring up Skip Schumacher, getting a start in center field tonight. Cardinals are dealing with some injuries. They are getting healthier, but not exactly where they want to be. As Schumacher lifts one in the air, and that is going to fall for a base hit. Tony Ransom unable to run it down. He did make a great play to hold Schumacher to a single.
And it's surprising that Schumacher's just at first base. It took a long time to get out of that batter's box, and places it perfectly inside that left field line. Look at Ransom able to get it into second base. You would think that a guy like Schumacher would be able to get to second, but not able to do it. Good hustle by Cody Ransom, not able to get there, but hold him to a single in no man's land down there in left field.
Schumacher just right off the end of the bat, a little flare. And had it not been for that play by Cody Ransom, you're looking at a runner at second with Matt Holliday coming up. Cardinals had 6 All-Stars last Tuesday in Kansas City. And here's one of them, one of the big bats. Matt Holliday hitting .315, 14 homers, 57 runs batted in.
And the best offense in the National League when you talk about statistics. Number 1 in runs, batting average, hits, on base percentage. They're 3rd in homers, and they walk a lot.
Holliday sitting on a 14-game hitting streak where he's hit .389 during the streak. An even bigger sample size for Holliday if you go back to June 16th. So 1 month on the calendar. Holliday is hitting .441. Has 4 homers, 21 RBIs during that stretch in his last month's worth of games.
And just a good overall hitter. Got off to a very slow start, but as you mentioned, has been swinging the bat well.
None of the Cardinals have ever seen Mike Fiers. His first matchup. If you follow the Cardinals at all, if you've seen him play, maybe you caught him last night, you might notice Matt Holliday standing more straight up than normal. And that's a bit of a change, different look for Matt Holliday, and they say that's what's turned his game around offensively over this last month. Even the best hitters tinker with their stance and their swings at times.
As you get older, you're going to have to make adjustments to get that bat into the hitting zone on time, and whatever it is that he and Mark McGwire have been working on certainly has been working.
And those two have been working together a long time, even back to Holliday's days as a Colorado Rocky when McGwire was just a private hitting coach. Check the umpiring crew tonight. That is Bob Davidson calling the balls and strikes. Brian Gorman is the crew chief. He's out at first base. Tony Randazzo and Alan Porter on the bases as well. First of a 3-game series with St. Louis. Brewers took 2 out of 3 from the Pirates. Won the finale of the series yesterday 4-1. A very well played game by the Brewers yesterday, and the headliner was Yovani Gallardo, who struck out 14 Pirates in 7 innings, established a new career high, and second most strikeouts in franchise history, tied Moose Haas. And we'll hear from Yovani in the 2nd inning. He has agreed to join us from the dugout and be subject to whatever he gets from his pitching mates in the dugout.
Hopefully not a pie in the face. But the Brewers pitching staff yesterday, 17 strikeouts, no walks, and the Pirates only had a man at second base once the entire game.
Gallardo and the Brewers beat A.J. Burnett and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Only the 3rd loss of the season for Burnett, and the first time he had lost a game since early May. Good win for Gallardo, who's 8-6. Axford notched the save. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Holiday. And into right center. Gomez came in, now going back, and will make the catch just shy of the wall. Ball had some carry on it. I don't think Holiday hit it all that well, but he is so strong he was able to send it to the wall.
Yeah, when he squares up on him, man, no ballpark's going to hold him, especially Miller Park. It sounded like he got that one down on the handle just a bit, down on the trademark. Let's see. Yep, I think he didn't get all of it. Fire was able to get a little bit of a cut fastball out there, and because of that, Gomez is able to go back. So he's come in to make an out, and he's gone back to catch one. You can see that ball just not on the sweet spot, not completely, and that's why it stayed in the ballpark.
Yeah, it had that sound, that dead sound to it. And it ends up as an out for the 2nd out, as Fires will face Alan Craig now. Cardinals did welcome back Lance Berkman to the active roster on Saturday night, and he played yesterday. Still not able to play every day after knee surgery. Speaking of knee surgeries, with first baseman in the division, Joey Votto, a meniscus tear, it was reported today, and he's going to miss a month. He's going to require knee surgery. Maldonado rips one to first, and back is Schumacher.
Yeah, so the Brewers aren't going to have to deal with Joey Votto over the weekend.
Maldonado never afraid to throw the baseball. He has a great arm and loves to show it off.
Yeah, good arm and very quick feet.
1 ball, 1 strike, as that pitch was called for strike 1. Well, the Brewers felt very good about their series win over the Pirates, the first place Pirates. Matter of fact, Milwaukee knocked the Pirates out of first. Cincinnati leads the way today, a 1-game lead in the division. Gallardo giving up just the 1 run yesterday, the Andrew McCutchen homer. I think you feel good about a series when the best player on a team, Andrew McCutchen, who's making a strong case for an MVP award, he has a huge series, and yet you're able to win 2 out of 3 games.
Yeah, well, he's going to get his. You just got to control everybody around him, and the Brewers did a nice job getting outs in front of McCutchen in the lineup, 1 and 2 in the batting order.
So while the Brewers were winning a series against the Buccos, the Cardinals were being swept by the Cincinnati Reds. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men are out here in the first inning. Fires checks on Schumacher. Well, the good vibrations after that series win tempered somewhat with the news of Zach Greinke and the fact that he will be pushed back. He will not start on Wednesday. Won't start again until next Tuesday against the Phillies.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good pitch. Fires was walking into the dugout. But Bob Davidson did not agree. Where does this miss? Maybe a little bit inside. Didn't give him the inside corner on the curveball. That might have been in.
Fiers wasn't the only one running to the dugout. I think every position player out there was. Ron Renicky bewildered at that call. Schumacher takes off. The 3-2 is inside ball 4.
And not giving him the inside corner. Looked like a good pitch.
Fiers one of 2 rookies, as we mentioned in the open, that'll face the Cardinals. Tyler Thornburg will get the start, replacing Zach Greinke on Wednesday. And Ron Renicky told us before the game today that it's not an injury situation. Greinke, having pitched in 3 consecutive games for the Brewers, Saturday, Sunday, and then the first game back from the All-Star break. Renicky said he made the mistake of allowing Greinke to pitch and felt like he needs a break now. His stuff was a little short, as he said. And we'll basically give him an All-Star break to try to reset his routine, and we'll see him again on Tuesday against the Phillies.
The long layoff between starts for Yovani Gallardo certainly helped him. It was 8 days between starts for Yo, and he was outstanding yesterday. And the Brewers are hoping the same for Greinke.
Yadier Molina breaks his bat, and Ransom will make the play to first. So Fiers is through the first, gives up a hit and a walk. Cardinals fail to score. Now the Brewers coming up. And the Cardinals, first game of the series. Ron Renicky's club coming in with a record of 42-46, 4 games under, 8 games back of the front-running Cincinnati Reds. And here is Renicky's Piggly Wiggly batting order: Nori Aoki, Carlos Gomez, and Ryan Braun. In the middle of the order, it's Ramirez, Hart, and Weeks, with Maldonado, Cody Ransom at short today, and Mike Fiers on the mound. Lance Lynn, he is an all-star this year. What a great first half. Won 11 games prior to the break, and his first start in the second half.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's 6'5", 250 pounds, just turned 25 back in May. 18th appearance and start of the season. He started the season at 10-1, but he went through a 3-start stretch where he got 17 earned runs for an ERA a little under 10, but he righted the ship a little bit his last time out.
Lynn did not pitch in the All-Star game, although he was there. Defensively, it's Holiday, Schumacher, and Matt Carpenter in the outfield. Freeze for Call, Descalso, and Craig around the horn, with Yadier Molina doing the catching. Menard's Cardinals defense. 3rd series of the year with St. Louis. The Cardinals have won 2 out of 3 in the first 2 series of the season. Norichika Aoki leads off for the Brewers. And Lynn starts him with strike 1. Aoki's starting to get to the part of the schedule where he's seeing pitchers for the second time. Although he has not faced Lance Lynn so far this season. It's been amazing what he's been able to do at the plate. Aoki basically started out as a platoon player, a pinch hitter, playing only against left-handed starters, even though he's a left-handed hitter. Fought his way into the lineup, and he's pretty much an everyday player at this point.
And he has been a big component of that Brewers offense, the resurgence of the Brewers offense, whether he's batting first or second in the lineup. He's been able to get on base in front of Ryan Braun, Aramis Ramirez, Corey Hart.
Now, when the Brewers faced Lance Lynn last time, Aoki's still a part-time player.
You see that stretch of 4 games, and 3 of those starts, he really got pounded pretty good. He lost 2 of those 3 that we were talking about, but his last start, he picked up a win.
Full count to Aoki. Lance Lynn with his 20th career major league start. This is his 18th of the season. Didn't make 2 last year. Pitched mostly out of the bullpen though, as Aoki lifts this one in the air. And David Freese in foul territory for the first out. Lance Lynn for a scouting report. We went to Brewers hitting coach Johnny Naron.
He's got a good fastball. He's got a fastball that he will sink and run on the arm side and cut on the glove side. So that gives him 2 fastballs right there. He's got a good curveball, good slider. He's got good command. We're going to stay aggressive. We're going to stick with our plan. Be aggressive in the zone.
Yeah, there was a stretch where Lance Lynn was throwing a few too many breaking balls, according to the Cardinals. He got back to fastball dominance his last time out. Expect him to do that again tonight.
Here's Carlos Gomez with one away. Maybe you can translate cut on the glove side, right, sink on the arm side.
Well, when he throws the ball away to a right-handed batter, I mean, just the angle of his arm, he's going to be able to have a little bit of a cut on it. And then when he comes inside to a right-hander, it's going to sink. There's the cut on away to a right-handed batter, and it's in on a lefty and away to a left-hander. He'll have some sink.
Arm side and the cut side, and the glove side is
the sink side.
The perspective of the pitcher from Johnny Naron. Just to clear that up as Carlos Gomez singles to right. He's already having a good game. Gomez with 2 nice catches in the top of the 7th, comes up with a base hit in his first at bat.
Yeah, getting a start against a right-handed pitcher. It's usually Nigel Morgan, but Reinke gives Gomez a shot tonight.
Well, Ryan Braun tops the Powerball home run leaderboard. He has 26 home runs this season. Corey Hart with 16. And this is essentially the middle of the Brewers batting order. 3, 4, and 5, and 6 with Ricky Weeks in there. Braun also leading the National League. You've got 2 of the top home run hitters in the National League. 2 of the top 3, as a matter of fact, in Braun and Beltran. Although Beltran not in the starting lineup, just a day off today for the Cardinals all-star right fielder. Braun hitting .312, has an on-base percentage of .399, and a slugging percentage coming in at .615 as he takes a strike from Lynn. It's a monster season for Ryan Braun.
And doing a lot of his damage lately to right and right center. Not trying to pull the baseball. Teams have been pitching him away. And even on pitches, pretty much down the middle and maybe sometimes middle in, he's shooting that ball into right field. Got a great approach right now.
Braun is 10th in the league in hitting at .312. He leads the league in homers and is tied for 2nd in the National League in runs batted in, just 1 behind Carlos Beltran. And you can find his name pretty much all over the major offensive categories in the National League. Runs and total bases.
Yep, his next hit will be 100 for the season.
Gomez always a threat to run. There he goes. Swing and a miss, and the throw to second is late. Stolen base for Carlos Gomez, his 12th.
Yeah, tough to run on Molina, but Gomez about as fast as it gets. A high throw from Molina. Something you don't see much of. He had to sidearm it a little bit and feet a little bit slow getting into position.
12 out of 15 for Gomez this year. He's only been caught 3 times. And now he is in scoring position for Braun. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ryan, who is 5 for 10 on the homestand in the 3 games against the Pirates. Strike called on the outside corner, and Braun is barking a little bit.
That slider right on the edge. Looked like a pretty good pitch. Right there on the outside corner, a little too close to take. That's exactly where Molina wanted it, and Lance Lynn put it right in his glove.
2 gone in the inning. And here is Aramis Ramirez. Well, Lynn has great stuff, no question. And as Johnny Nairn said, he has that big fastball, and you have to be leery of that. His out pitch is his slider. It felt like Lynn was trending as a closer, although he was a starter throughout the minor leagues. But he pitched so well out of the bullpen last year as he hits that corner again with a slider.
Yeah, he can be tough on right-handed batters because he throws from that high 3/4, throws across his body just a little bit. Kind of an unusual delivery, which makes it tough to pick up his pitches.
Lynn replaced Chris Carpenter in the starting rotation. Carpenter is now out for the season. That one just missed. 2 balls and a strike, a fastball that time. Cardinals have had some injuries to deal with. Chris Carpenter with a shoulder injury is done for the year. Jaime Garcia also out with a shoulder injury. He has been out since early June. We're also missing Kyle McClellan. Three balls and a strike on Ramirez.
Yeah, but still the Cardinals able to stay above 500 at 46 and 43. Everybody feels as though they're in the race in the Central this year.
Now Mike Matheny in his first year taking over for Tony La Russa. Strike again on the corner. Lynn has been content to stay away of the big sluggers in this first inning.
And as predicted, throwing an awful lot of fastballs early on.
Full count with Gomez at second. And Ramirez fouls it back. That one hung up there.
And with that arm angle, you'd expect his slider to be flat from time to time. That was a flat slider that stayed up. Just enough to keep you off the sweet spot. That one kind of backed up on Ramirez, but he was able to get a piece of it.
Lynn made one start against Milwaukee earlier this year, back on April 8th. That was a 9-3 victory. Went 6 2/3 in that game. Just one earned run allowed. He struck out 8. 3-2 pitch, and that one's in there for a called strike 3. So Lance Lynn painting the corner. Ramirez having a chat with Bob Davidson. Now when we come back, we will visit with Yovani Gallardo. He'll join us from the dugout when we continue. as Mike Fiers is back on the mound. And joining us from the Brewers dugout is Yovani Gallardo. Congratulations, Yovani. You put 14 strikeouts on the board yesterday. That's second all time. Have you had a moment to reflect and oh my goodness, that was fast. I couldn't even get the first question out before you got it. But talk about your outing yesterday. Have you had a
I can only imagine who that might be.
Wow.
Take a guess.
That was.
I'm gonna guess.
That was the worst all time.
A whole helmet full.
Let's see. We got a good shot of it here. There's Markham with a. Who's number 12?
Maldi.
Yeah, Maldonado's helmet.
Yeah, he's gonna have plenty of seeds in there.
All right, Yo. So back to more professional business here. Your start yesterday. What'd you think?
It felt good. You know, even before the game, there in the bullpen. Just I was able to command all my pitches, curveball, slider, to both sides of the plate. And I think that's what was a huge difference.
Was there any concern in your mind? Big layoff. It was 8 days between starts, but really in the first inning, it didn't appear that you had any problem commanding any one of your pitches.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I think it's, like I said, I mean, it just all depends. I guess sometimes it helps to get a few extra days off, and sometimes it's the total opposite. But I was able to come back and I guess get back into into rhythm before I had to go out there and pitch. So I guess that helped out.
How was the curveball yesterday? It seemed like that was a good pitch for you, the strikeouts, but most of your strikeouts came on the fastball yesterday.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's just, just being able to command the curveball first strike or put away pitch whenever I needed to. It just allows you to not having to be as perfect with the fastball. Like I said, I mean, I was able to command it to both sides, which was big.
Yovani, we were obviously discussing the Zach Greinke situation, and you could probably speak to this best as a starting pitcher, but to be able to get that break and put him back on a routine, which is what Ron Renicky said he wants to do with him now. Just talk us through that as a starting pitcher and what that means for a starter and what it could mean for Zach Greinke as he'll be next up on Tuesday in Philadelphia.
You know, like I said, I mean, it's a very long year. You know, it's obviously you're going to run into situations like that where you need extra rest, and I think that's in the long run it's going to help him out, and he's going to, you know, be big for this staff.
There's always that balance between what the manager sees and the decision he makes with the pitching coach versus giving you guys the leeway to make decisions about when you pitch or not. But I know you can't speak for Zach, but in your own dealings with Ron Renicky and Rick Kranitz, how does that conversation come about? I mean, they know you as well as anyone at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, just being honest, I guess. You know, as far as for myself, like I said, I mean, it's, you know, I think we all understand, like I said, I mean, you're not going to be feeling 100% each time out. That's why it's, you know, you should speak up whenever there's something going on, you know, whether it be fatigue or whatever it might be. And like I said, I mean, they understand, you know, especially Ron. He's done a great job, as well as Cranny. You know, they'll give, if there's a way they can, they'll give you that extra day or a little bit more rest.
Yeah, tell us about how well you know, Mike Fiers and Marco Estrada have fit into the starting rotation. As far as, you know, number 4 and 5 guys in the rotation, they've done a bang-up job this year.
Yeah, they've done a great job. You know, I saw that the Fiers, both of them, Fiers and Marco, are throwing the ball very well right now. It's you know, you can't ask for much more. You know, like I said, they got pretty good stuff. You know, just being aggressive with the hitters, no matter going out there every 5 days, and, you know, giving the team an opportunity to win.
Fiers with one away here as we play in the second inning. Yovani Gallardo joins us as Descalso sends one high in the air to Corey Hart for out number 2. Last question, Yovani, with Tyler Thornburg getting the start on Wednesday. He's a young prospect. He'll get his second start in the big leagues. Have you welcomed him back from his brief stint in the bullpen? And what do you say to a guy like that? How do you help him along?
You know, it's just one of those things. You know, it's obviously, like I said, just trust his stuff. You know, that's really all you can. It's obviously he's got the very good pitches. You know, fastballs, the hard fastball, and you know, just try not to do too much. I mean, that's really the best advice. You know, just try not to do too much. Just go out there, pitch your game. You know, pitch the way you've been pitching in the minor leagues, and you know, make pitches.
Well, Yovani, we enjoyed watching you pitch yesterday. That was a thrill, and congratulations on a career best 14 strikeouts. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
That is Yovani Gallardo, and we appreciate him coming on with us during the game, enduring the sunflower seeds shower that he gets every time he's on the air with us.
But yet never turns us down.
He never does.
Always willing to have a chat with us up here in the booth.
I thought I might be able to sneak in the first question, but you could see Markham walking down the length of the dugout. You could just
he's
see
the culprit. He's the shaving cream culprit and the sunflower seeds.
Poor Martin Maldonado. He's going to put that helmet on. He's got a helmet full of seeds as Fires strikes out Lynn. 2 scoreless in the books. There he is, the master of mischief. Saturday, August 4th, the UFC returns to Fox with 4 fights, including knockout artist Shogun Rua. Did you get that, Rock? He's taking on Brandon Vera in the biggest fight of his career, plus an epic bout between former UFC champ Lyoto Machida and rising star Ryan Bader. Thank you.
Well done.
UFC Fight Night on Fox is live from Los Angeles, Saturday, August 4th, 7 p.m. Central. Shogun Rua. That's a great name.
That was only you could have pulled that one off. Nice.
All right, here we go to the bottom of the second, and Corey Hart to lead off. Hart, Weeks, and Maldonado first 3 up for the Brew Crew in the second inning. Mike Fiers picking up his first strikeout as he strands a leadoff single. Corey Hart comes in with 16 home runs. His batting average is on the climb. Checks in today hitting .263. And is currently on a 9-game hitting streak. During that streak, Hart is hitting .405. Back at first base tonight, Corey Hart, where he has been terrific defensively this year.
It really doesn't seem to matter where he's playing defensively. He just continues to swing the bat well. Driving in runs.
Big swing and a miss. Lynn goes upstairs with a fastball, and it's 2-2.
Yep, a lot of fastballs from Lynn. That was one of his better ones at 94 miles an hour.
Hart hasn't seen a whole lot of Lynn. He's faced him twice. He homered against him. 1 for 2. 2-2 pitch. So far, Lynn has commanded that outside corner very well. Matter of fact, he struck out Braun and Ramirez on called strike threes on the outside corner.
Yep, one a cut fastball, one a fastball on the outside corner.
Goes after that spot. Hart rolls over it for call. Will throw it low to first, but Craig digs it out for the first out. Brewers saw Lance Lynn on April 8th, the first series of the year. And Lynn pitched very well right out of the gates of spring training, went 6 2/3 innings.
Only 2 hits, a 9-3 Cardinals win. And when he made that start, first series of the year, everybody's thinking, who's this guy? This guy's not going to last as a starter. But look what he's been able to do. I mean, he burst onto the scene.
And pitched so well in the first half, he earned his way onto the All-Star team. He's only 25 years of age.
The Cardinals pull him out of the bullpen to make emergency starts when they had guys on the disabled list. Wainwright wasn't ready. Carpenter. Their rotation was banged up to start the year.
Ricky Weeks with one away takes strike 2. That has been an open door on the outside corner for Bob Davidson. And last year, Lance Lynn was going along well in the bullpen, and then he injured his oblique. A strained oblique that put him on the disabled list for a little over a month. As a matter of fact, he was not ready when the postseason began. He was not on the Division Series postseason roster. He was back on it for the LCS and the World Series. Pitching out of the bullpen. And Lynn was used often, especially in the World Series. Tony La Russa exhausted that bullpen, got everything out of him. He pitched in 5 of the 7 World Series games, did Lance Lynn.
And you remember that NLCS where none of the Cardinals starters were able to get 5 innings.
Ricky Weeks bangs one back up the middle.
Well, if he's going to pitch your way, you got to think up the middle. Can't try and pull him. And let that one leak down the middle of the plate. And Ricky Weeks able to hit it hard up the middle and get himself a base hit. He continued to swing a pretty good bat. Nice and easy. Not a lot of movement until he starts the bat to the hitting zone. Nice and quiet. Ricky Weeks up at the plate.
And a man on. Second hit for the Brewers. Both singles. Gomez and Weeks. And now Martin Maldonado. We'll see how he hits with a helmet full of sunflower seeds. Isn't there some kind of protocol about, sunflower seed props that you might use somebody who's not in the lineup?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think you really think it that much through. I think it's the first thing you grab.
First available,
I guess.
And he's a rookie. What's he going to tell Sean Markham?
I've never, in my playing days, I never really, did a lot of that. They didn't interview players in the dugout, first of all. Well, the shaving cream pie, now, that was a different story. That was very popular back in the 80s.
I would imagine one of your helmets would be an ideal sunflower seed holder.
Meaning what?
You could maximize your
where are you going with
destruction.
This? You mean fill up a lot of seeds in it? Yeah, that and the fact it wasn't used all that often.
It's brand new.
You could actually eat the seeds once they were in that helmet. Still had the plastic on it. That's where you were going with it. I get it. I'll play along.
Well, the way Maldonado's been swinging the bat lately, doesn't matter what you do to his helmet. He has been on a tear at the plate. Had a 4-hit game against the Pirates on Friday night. That was a career best for him. He backed it up with a 3-hit game and was robbed of a 4th hit on a great play by Alvarez yesterday. So he was 8 for 13 against the Pirates. And raised his batting average over 20 points as he strikes out.
That's a pitch that the Brewers are going to have to lay off of, that high fastball. Hey, it's Miller time in the Miller Lite Beer Pan every Friday night at Miller Park. Fans 21 and older can get a Lowe's bleacher ticket and a free T-shirt for only $22.
So 2 are gone, and Weeks still at first base. Here is Cody Ransom. Big cut and a miss. Ransom back in the starting lineup for the first time since he hit a grand slam against the Pirates on Friday night. That was a game-winning grand slam in the bottom of the 8th inning Friday. Thrilling win for the Brewers. Ron Renicky using Cesar Turris on Saturday, and then yesterday went with Jeff Bianchi, the rookie shortstop, who played very well in yesterday's game.
Yes, he did. All three of the shortstops that Ron Renicky has used over there have really done a nice job in the field. Still looking for somebody to get hot at the plate.
Ransom now with 8 home runs, 33 driven in. He started the year with the Arizona Diamondbacks. 4 of his 8 home runs have come as a Brewer. Playing in his 39th game with the Brew Crew. Diamondbacks took him off their roster, what they call DFA, designated for assignment, and the Brewers signed him while they were in Arizona, while they were in Phoenix. So he never left his house. He lives in Arizona. Grew up in the Phoenix area. Chandler. And his biggest moment as a Brewer. A 2-out, 2-strike grand slam for Cody Ransom, and it snapped a 6-6 tie. Gave the Brewers a 10-6 lead. They would go on to win the game 10-7.
That fouled off a couple of fastballs, and then the left-hander gave another one. He knocked it out of here. That was a nice at bat for Cody.
Ball and 2 strikes on Ransom. Weeks at first with 2 away. And strike called outside corner. He has found that spot. That's his 4th strikeout. Back on the mound, matching up against Lance Lynn. And look at that, a Doug Melvin reference. I love Doug. And as fate would have it, Doug's right here. Doug Melvin, Brewers general manager. That's nice. You got a lot of love out there in the crowd.
So there's got to be another Doug in the dugout or somewhere.
It's not a plan.
No.
It's legit. Well, Doug, it's been a busy day today. And obviously, after a series win against the Pirates, the feeling tempered a little bit by the news of Zach Greinke. You guys are going to push him back. We heard from Ron Renicky earlier today, and something that he felt like he took a little ownership, saying he maybe shouldn't have pitched him in those back-to-back games. Where do you stand on all of this, and how do you see Zach Greinke coming back from this little stretch where he's going to have off?
Yeah, I think it's very normal for a lot of pitchers. He's done this before in his career, and every once in a while, I see somebody else do it. I saw where Gavin Floyd at the White Sox is going to be pushed back a start, and it does happen. I think it's probably bigger news than normal, just because of the other circumstances, that he's a free agent, that there's a lot of trade speculation and all that. If that wasn't going on, it'd probably not even be a story, because Yovani Gallardo had a stretch of 9 days. He went out there and struck out 14 guys, and I think a lot of pitchers will go through that. And I talked to Zach about it, and he said if he looked back now, he probably would have said either he shouldn't have started that game in Houston, or when he came back after the All-Star break, he maybe should have just been pushed back and been the fifth starter. So we talked about it and reviewed it, but I know that he wants to be out there, and you're looking for guys to take the ball. He wants to do that as much as he can, so we're not that concerned. It's just that he's not going to be pitching until probably next Tuesday, I think, is when he's scheduled to.
Yeah, I would imagine the phones are ringing hot these days in your office. Where do you guys as an organization stand, as opposed, when you consider, trade talks and things like that, the plan of attack going forward?
Well, we're still try to win as many games as we can. I know Gord Ash pointed out to me yesterday that we had 4 less wins than last year at this time, or 5. So you just look at your ball club, and I said, I think you always say it. You hope you're just a big streak away from getting back in things, and there's still a lot of baseball left. And our ball club, I think there's fewer weaknesses now in our ball club than it was maybe a month ago. With Mike Fiers and Marco Estrada going out there, the two of them had 20 walks and 116 strikeouts between the two of them. Pitching in the rotation now has really been a big boost for us. Aoki has stepped up, and now we know what kind of hitter he is, hitting in the top of the order. Ryan Braun is back, and there's nothing talked about, which was talked about earlier in the year. So Cody Ransom has filled in nicely. I saw where our shortstops, I think, the 5th most RBIs from the shortstop position in baseball. So some of the things that were issues earlier on maybe aren't quite the issues that they were earlier. Ricky's swinging the bat better. Jonathan LaCroix's coming back. We hope Sean Markham can get back after August. So with all that said, you feel good about things, but you still got to go out and win games, win series, put a streak together. And if they don't, then you have to be prepared to look at the alternative.
In baseball in general, I mean, do you think there's going to be as much activity at the trading deadline, given 2 wild card teams this year, and what the Cardinals did at the end of last year? I guess organizations don't feel like they're ever really out of it until the end.
Yeah, I would say by phone calls and by actual contacts with other GMs, right now I don't anticipate as much, but things can change too. Like you said, a club could go out and lose, 8 out of 10 games or 10 out of 12 and be out of it, or a team could win. And the other thing is, we brought up, I talked to Ruben Amaro about 3 weeks ago.
Mike Fiers just strikes out Matt Holly. Hold that thought, Doug. I want to hear what you have to say about the Phillies general manager, as Fiers just blisters right through the Cardinals batting order, 1, 2, 3, including a strikeout of Holliday. Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Back at Miller Park, Brewers general manager Doug Melvin kind enough to join us here. We like to catch up with Doug at least once a homestand. There's certainly a lot to talk about here as we move to the bottom of the third inning, and Mike fires to lead off against Lance Lynn. And Doug, you were talking about a conversation with Ruben Amaro and the Phillies general manager. They've had a terrible season, and nobody expected that kind of season from the Phillies, but please continue.
Yeah, well, Ruben and I, we were just talking about the 4 teams that were in the playoffs in the National League last year have had their struggles with us and the Phillies and the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals earlier on, but now they're getting things straightened out. But there's a chance all 4 teams could not be in the playoffs that were there last year. But we were just talking about our ball clubs and things, and people wanting you to make trades and move players and all that. And we were talking about one of the things that could happen is you go and move your players, and some club that you're chasing could go have an injury or two to key players on that ball club, and all of a sudden they're not the same ball club. And he came here today and got into the suite and found out Joey Votto's out for 2 or 3 weeks. Right. So people forget about that. It would be disturbing to go and make some major changes and find out somebody misses 1 or 2 of their key players, and all of a sudden they have trouble, and have a bad August or a bad September.
This market for the trades, and as a bigger picture, not specifically to the Brewers, but do you think it is having more to do with the extra wild card team, or the fact that you don't get the compensation pick any longer for losing a free agent or a guy you may trade for?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. I think there's a little bit of both. People just feel that they're not going to get anything back when they do give up something. But my response to that is, you have an opportunity to go to the playoffs. You better make sure that if that opportunity is there, those doors aren't always open for some organizations for years. We experienced that in 2008. And you don't even know who that draft pick is that you might be getting the next year or whatever. But the opportunity to go is something, as I said, I've always felt you owe it to your fans that come out and support your ball club if you've got a chance to go there. So, I think a combination of both, and in that regard. And the extra playoff, I think, does have some merit, but there's still that extra playoff. You still could be 5 or 6 teams ahead of you. That's what could be tough about trying to get that extra playoff spot.
Well, on the injury front, you mentioned Sean Markham and Jonathan Lucroy. Let's start with Lucroy. He looks like he's progressing very well. He took batting practice today, we saw, and we shot some footage of him. And it was announced earlier that you guys are going to send him to Appleton to start his minor league rehab on Thursday. Is that correct? Yeah,
he's going to go to Appleton, and I believe 4 days he'll be there. Then go to Nashville, take a day off and play a couple games there. And the plan is to hope to have him back when we get back off the road trip from Philadelphia.
And I know a lot can happen, but it'd be tough to send Martin Maldonado back to the minor leagues. How you plan on working that whole thing?
Yeah, you just wait until that particular time. You discuss the roster moves you might make. At that time, you hope not that somebody else could be hurt or something, right. And you hope that. But at that point, you just have to be prepared to make your move. And there's no doubt Maldonado has done a great job as a filled in even more so than what we had anticipated. He was hitting a $199 in AAA, and I just saw an article the other day where someone said he was one of the underperforming prospects, and he's up here in the big leagues hitting home runs and swinging the bat for us. So he's done a great job, and Jerry Nairn has worked very closely with Martin and from spring training on, and prepares himself well. Works well with the pitchers. Defense and his arm strength is what his game has been.
That is going to fall for Gomez, and now on his way to second base. The throw is in time for the out. Gomez is thrown out. Well, Doug, we didn't have much time to chat, but thanks for all the information on Zach Greinke and the injuries, and wish you the best over this stretch. Let's see if the Brewers can fight their way back.
We sure hope so. Thanks for having me.
All right. Brewers General Manager Doug Melvin. Always appreciate his time. GMC pitchers dominating so far. Lance Lynn of the Cardinals has 5 strikeouts at this point, and he's through 3 scoreless, as is Mike Fiers. Fiers has given up 3 hits, has a couple of strikeouts, including a strikeout of Matt Holliday to end the 3rd. He's coming off a 3-up, 3-down inning. Brewers have 3 hits. Cardinals have 2 against Fiers, and all of the hits in this game have been singles. See the starting pitching comparison.
That's the way it goes. You know, you get Doug Melvin up here at a very pivotal time for the Brewers in the season. You get 6 batters. Who would have thought, right?
That's it. And he's the 3rd inning guy. Well, I think he hit all the the hot topics, especially with Zach Greinke. I mean, it is encouraging to hear that Greinke has no injury. You know, I think that when it first came down, there were 2 thoughts when his spot was being skipped in the starting rotation. A, has he been traded? That's the first thought that comes to your mind. B, is he injured?
Right.
And the answer is no to both of those questions, at least as of today.
Right.
We just heard it from Doug Melvin.
Ron Renicky had that big press corps in front of him today. They were what 5 inches from his face.
Yeah. Big crowd wanted to hear from the skipper.
Didn't have room to breathe down there during batting practice.
Little flare in foul territory, and Corey Hart sliding catch right in the palm of the glove. He's able to squeeze it for the out. Well done.
He's a Gold Glove first baseman over there from what we've seen so far. And that big frame, able to slide, and you can see it right in the palm of the glove, and able to hold on, never takes his eye off of it. Goes down as he approaches the wall along the grandstands and hauls it in. And Mike Fiers doing a nice job getting in on the hands of Alan Craig.
I still go back to that conversation I had with Corey Hart before games began in spring training, when they're just working out and he's taking ground balls at first base. And it's hard to put it into context because it sounds arrogant, but it wasn't from Hart. I asked him what kind of first baseman was he when he was in the minor leagues and what kind of first baseman he thought it could be, because I think it could be pretty good. I enjoyed playing it when I was in the minor leagues. He moved away from first base primarily because Prince Fielder came onto the scene. Played a little third base and eventually settled in the outfield. But Hart was a shortstop in high school at 6'5". So he knows his way around the infield. And he has been so impressive. Doug Melvin talked about getting things settled. Things are getting settled more now for the Brewers, and they're starting to win more series. They've won 5 home series in a row, and I think that's one of the elements he's talking about.
Now the batting order has a little bit more continuity. Guys pretty much know when they're going to play and where they're going to be batting.
Molina drives one to right center. That's down for a hit. And Molina on his way to second. Gomez's throw comes in late. And the red-hot Yadier Molina stays that way with a double to right center.
He does that very well, taking the ball to the opposite field. He very rarely pulls the baseball. If you're going to pitch him away, you better not put it up there. Up and away, not a good spot for Molina. He'll just drive that ball into the right center field gap all day long. You can pitch him away, but it's got to be down in the zone around the knees.
Molina's coming off a huge series in Cincinnati. The Cardinals were swept, but by no fault of Yadier Molina, who was 6 for 12 with 2 homers and a couple of doubles in that series. Here's David Freese now. Teams are always searching for a consistent lineup, and you're trying to get consistency in your starting rotation. Losing Zach Greinke for a start disrupts that a little bit, but the fact that Marco Estrada and Mike Fiers have come on and pitched so well, I think gives you reason for hope.
Yeah. Going forward, the Brewers have 3 starting pitchers that will be free agents at the end of the year. So look at a couple of guys you know are going to be able to do a pretty good job replacing them if in fact they don't come back. The impressive thing for me with Mike Fiers and Marco Estrada, the walks and the strikeouts. Neither one of them walk many, and they can rack up the strikeout totals. And that's surprising because neither one of them can get it up much over 92 miles an hour.
2 balls and a strike on Freese. Three and one now. Freese singled against Fiers in the second inning. Last year's NLCS and World Series most valuable player. He was on the All-Star team. The vote-in, the final 5 vote-in was David Freese. There's a strike.
Yeah, to a curveball and a 3-1 count. As if to say, if I walk you, that's okay.
Runner at second, Yadier Molina. He doubled just a moment ago. And Freese takes one in the dirt. Ball 4, first and second, and the Cardinals have their best scoring opportunity of the game. Check in on our AT&T trivia question today. Who are the last 4 Brewers rookie pitchers to make at least 7 starts before the All-Star break? Well, Mike Fiers bursting onto the scene after mediocre numbers in AAA this season. He won his first start in the major leagues against the Dodgers. That was back on May 29th. Matt Carpenter takes a strike. You know, it's early. There's a lot of games left. But for Mike Fiers, if he starts to put together a run here like he's been on for, let's say, another month, maybe 4 or 5 times through the rotation, if he continues to pitch like this, you're going to have to put his name into the Rookie of the Year discussion.
Oh, no doubt about that. When you look at his just the raw numbers, not so much the wins and losses, he's 3-3. At a .231 earned run average coming into play tonight. 11 walks, 52 punch outs. He's only given up 2 home runs, and he gave up those 2 home runs in the same start, his second start of the year against the Pirates.
Well, he's not there yet, but he is trending in that direction. You know, Wade Miley of the Diamondbacks, one of the top rookie pitchers this year. Also an all-star. 0-2 pitch. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Go figure that Fiers and Maldonado, for that matter, can have more success in the big leagues than they did in AAA to start the year. The Nashville Sounds Battery back in April. Fiers and Maldonado.
I got to figure it might have been a little bit of a letdown for Maldonado to get sent down to the minor leagues again after having a very good offensive year the year before. You just never know what goes through the mind of a young player. But since he's come to Milwaukee, he's been swinging the bat well. And Mike Fiers will tell you, even in his year last year where he was the minor league pitcher of the year, he got off to a slow start that year too.
Now, Fiers last year between AA and AAA finished 13-3 and a 1.86 ERA in a full season in the upper levels of the minor leagues. Had a 1.86 earned run average to earn that Pitcher of the Year award. Maldonado a quick trip to the mound.
And right now Mike Fiers is having a difficult time throwing his curveball for strikes, and that's not a good sign. The reason he's had so much success with the strikeouts is because he's been able to throw those off-speed pitches over for strikes.
Matt Carpenter sent Fiers back to the wall in the second inning. Aoki caught it just in front of the right field fence. 2-2 to Carpenter. And that one's in on the hands a little bit. Back is Gomez. Molina's going to tag. And he will try to go. The throw comes to second. So Molina ends up at third base. Second out in the inning. And the Cardinals have runners at first and third. Time now to take a look at our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery between the two starters. Lenz had the big fastball going tonight. Fires topping out at 90 miles an hour.
Well, he just threw one of those 90-mile-per-hour fastballs in on the hands of Carpenter. That's that deceptive delivery, and he becomes sneaky fast with that very average fastball. You got Carpenter on an easy flyout.
So 2 out. Daniel Descalso takes a strike, a breaking ball. It's always an interesting spot here in a National League setting. Got runners at first and third. The base open is at second, and you've got the pitcher on deck. Fires is a command pitcher.
Now in the fourth inning, you got to go right after him. You'd love to be able to get Descalso and have Lance Lynn lead off the next inning.
Descalso popped up to first base his last time up. Yadier Molina at third, Freeze over at first. And Descalso, a little flare. Ramirez on the run, can't get there, just out of his reach. Fires trying to make it through 4 against the Cardinals, scoreless. Ball and 2 strikes. And a little tapper right off the end of the bat. Fires makes the play, inning over. 4 scoreless for Mike Fires against the heavy hitting Cardinals. And speaking of the heavy hitters, they're coming up. Braun and Ramirez will bat when we continue.
It is Milwaukee Fatherhood Initiative Day. Dennis Walton is the outreach coordinator. And Dennis, what are the goals of your organization?
Well, the goals of the organization are simple. We just want to see men become more committed, involved, and responsible in the lives of their children. And first and foremost, we really have to, thank our great mayor of the city of Milwaukee, Tom Baird, who couldn't be here this evening. But without him, we wouldn't even have the Milwaukee Fatherhood Initiative.
You guys have been around for 7 years. Do you feel you're making a difference?
Oh, I think we're making a tremendous difference. The fact that we have an organization that promotes the values of fatherhood, promotes the value of men standing up in their community and being involved in their children's lives, it's the best thing moving right now, and we're really seeing the difference in men who are coming together to fellowship and build around the issues of just being supportive of their families and of one another.
Dennis, thanks. Congratulations on your efforts, guys. Dennis's son, Dennis Jr., he is the junior announcer this inning. Go back to a couple of dads in the booth, B.A. and Rock.
Yeah, man, that was great. He just announced Ryan Braun. Dennis Jr. did a great job, and we certainly support the Fatherhood Initiative as Braun hits a hot one over to first base. Craig will take it to the bag for the first out. All right, let's lay out
Next batter, number 16, Aramis Ramirez.
Yeah, that's little Dennis.
Nice.
Right?
Look out, Rob Edwards.
Did a good job. And that was a moment ago. He saw his son on the big screen, Papa Dennis.
Did a nice job. Both of them did.
Yeah, he did. I remember last year the Fatherhood Initiative group, they met us in Minneapolis.
Right, yeah.
Last season. Great time with those guys. So it is a fantastic operation, and they are serving a great need, having a great impact. There's little Dennis.
Got his scorebook there. He's ready to go.
So he gets to do the first three batters of the bottom of the fourth inning. I'm pretty sure he can handle Corey Hart next. The tricky one is Norichika Aoki.
Yeah. That's a challenge for a lot of us up here in the press box. That's why he's referred to as Nori.
That's right. He begged us just to call him Nori. Please, just call me Nori.
Yeah, make it easy on yourselves.
Yeah, this game, by the way, being televised in Japan on NHK. So maybe we'll hear a play-by-play call tonight from our Japanese friends at NHK as Ramirez pops this one up. Out number 2. Here comes Dennis again.
Next batter, number 1, Corey Hart.
Sold.
That's really good.
Some theatrics in there.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Say it like you mean it.
Had the long tail. See if Corey Hart is inspired by that announcement. Hart grounded out his first time up. Lance Lynn showing us why he was an all-star and an 11-game winner in the first half of the season.
And it's not just that he throws everything on the outside corner, but he keeps it down pretty well. Just like that. I mean, very difficult to hit down and away. Now, up and away, a little bit easier. We saw that on that Yadier Molina double to right center. Very rarely comes inside. We haven't seen too many fastballs come in on any of the Brewer hitters, particularly the right-handed batters.
And Hart lifts one in the air to right. This is playable. Matt Carpenter hauls it in, and a 1-2-3 inning. Well, so far, Dennis has been the highlight of the night.
And the Cardinals as we head to the top of the 5th inning, and tonight's timer of the game winner, the Blarney Stone Pub in Portage. They call the Brewers in the next 24 hours. They get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Back to our AT&T trivia question. Who are the last 4 Brewers rookie pitchers to make at least 7 starts before the All-Star break? Well, Mike Fiers is on that list. Chris Capuano had 10 in 04. Nick Neugebauer in 02. And Ben Sheets, who was in the headlines yesterday. He made 16, of course. That was his breakout rookie season after a gold medal in the Olympics.
And Ben Sheets, a big winner yesterday against the Mets in his first start since 2010. 6 scoreless innings for Sheeter.
Got a win against the Mets yesterday. Just 2 hits allowed for Ben Sheets. Back in the big leagues. And it was good to see him again. Incidentally, Mike Fiers is in a bit of history with Nick Neugebauer. When Fiers won on the road in Los Angeles in his first major league start, he became the first to win on the road. First rookie Brewer pitcher since Neugebauer did it in 2001 against the Reds.
And Neugebauer's career did not last very long. He hurt his shoulder and just not able to come back. He had a good arm.
Lance Lynn leads off for St. Louis. That Fiers win in his first start, the first rookie starting pitcher to win in his first start since Gallardo did it back in 07, but that was here at home against the Giants. Gallardo's first major league start was on June 18th of 07. Two and two to Lance Lynn. Count goes full. Plenty of strikes called on the outside corner to a right-handed hitter. Not many on the inside corner.
That might be one of the reasons why Lance Lynn's not throwing many pitches in there.
And down he goes as Bob Davidson rings him up. Carsoup.com email the booth question. Has the personality of the Cardinals changed since Tony La Russa left? That's a question from Brett in Park Falls. I'd say absolutely.
And it seems like a softer, gentler clubhouse scenario in there with Mike Matheny. He's changed the culture just a little bit. Of course, the culture that Tony La Russa had wasn't too bad. He did a lot of winning with the Cardinals. A little bit of the culture has changed due to the departure of Albert Pujols as well. I think that combination of Tony La Russa retiring and Pujols going to the Angels via the free agent route have changed things a lot dramatically in St. Louis.
Well, those were big shadows for sure. La Russa and Pujols. Carlos Beltran has covered every bit of the production left by Pujols. Beltran's had a great year, an MVP type season. It's not to say Matheny is not competitive at what he does, and those who have followed the Brewers for a while now know how competitive Mike Matheny truly is, a former Brewer catcher. But he just goes about it a little differently.
Yeah.
He's more, I would say, more like a Ron Renicky type manager.
And I think you don't have the animosity amongst the division against the Cardinals that had developed in the past.
That one is ripped foul by Furcal.
And again, the way Tony La Russa did it worked very well. Because I don't think La Russa cared too much about what anybody else thought about him except for his own team. Not that Matheny does either. And both of them want to win, but they go about it a little bit differently.
Full count to Rafael Furcal. Got in on the hands, a little flare that'll be run down by Ramirez. Good thing if that ball drops, that's a base hit for the speedy Furcal.
Yeah, nobody's going to be able to get that one. Hey, the next Brewers homestand starts with a visit from the first place Washington Nationals and Bryce Harper. The series starts on Thursday, July 26th and runs through Sunday the 29th. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit Brewers.com. That's a 4-game series. Pretty good chance you're going to see Steven Strasburg.
Yeah, Strasburg is still inside his innings limit. That's going to be a very interesting story for the Washington Nationals as they stay in a pennant race. What do they do with Strasburg? He won't be near the original limit that Mike Rizzo put out there, the general manager of the Nationals, which was around 160.
That might keep creeping up as they march to the postseason.
Yeah, I talked to Rizzo. It was about a month ago, and that number was out there pretty quickly this year, that 166 innings limit. But when I spoke to Rizzo, he didn't put a number on it. So either that changed or he never had a number on it in the first place.
Right.
But
well, if the rotation stays the way it is right now, on Sunday here at Miller Park, it could be Strasburg and Greinke.
Wow, that'd be great.
That'd be a nice pitching matchup.
Yeah, don't forget Bryce Harper, too.
Yeah, so make sure you call and get tickets.
Nationals at the top of the National League East. And that is a franchise, at least the Washington version of that franchise, that has never been in this position at this time of the season. Their first year in D.C., managed by Frank Robinson, they hung in there until the 4th of July. And then things kind of fell apart. Schumacher draws the walk. So Skip Schumacher walks ahead of Matt Holliday. And now Fires is going to have to deal with a hot hitter at the plate. By the way, some news in that Nationals game. Ryan Zimmerman is a triple away from the cycle for the Nationals tonight. They're playing the Miami Marlins in Miami. Might remember a verbal spat between Ozzie Guillen and Bryce Harper last night if you were watching the highlights. Ozzie Guillen didn't like that Bryce Harper had too much pine tar on his bat, thought it was up too high, a la George Brett. Next time up, Harper had a cleaner bat, and then he showed him the bat while he was in the batter's box, and Ozzie didn't like that.
Yeah, I don't blame Ozzie. Got a little swagger to him, does Bryce Harper. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, in the big leagues, what, 6 weeks?
And an All-Star at 19. 0-2 on Holiday.
So unlike Ozzie to speak his mind. He was on his best behavior here in Milwaukee for 4 days.
Yeah, he was. The Brewers split with the Marlins here at Miller Park. Matter of fact, Milwaukee has not lost a series at Miller Park in their last 6 series. They're 5-0-1. 5 series wins, 1 split. 0-2 to Holiday. And a runner at first. And Holiday lifts one high in the air to center. Playable for Gomez. And Mike Fiers has worked through 5 scoreless against the St. Louis Cardinals. Brewers are coming up. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Back at Miller Park, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great to have you with us tonight on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And a pitcher's duel. Scoreless game as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Along with Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Mark Kincannon, our reporter tonight. Chris Withers and Kevin Shank in the truck. On a very warm evening here in Milwaukee. And a couple of pitchers that are putting up nothing but zeros so far. Mike Fiers, 5 shutout innings. And Lance Lynn, 4 shutout innings with 5 strikeouts. Fiers has 3 punch outs to go along with 3 walks. Ricky Weeks in a 2-0 count. Fouls it back, had a big cut. There's a violent hack by Weeks.
And if you're a Brewer hitter and you've been up at the plate and watching Lance Lynn pitch tonight, you can pretty much forget about the inside part of the plate. I mean, until you get 2 strikes, you can kind of sell out for a pitch away because everything he's thrown has been toward the outside corner.
Hasn't been a lot of called strikes on the inside corner. Molina sets up out there again, but Lynn misfires, doesn't get the call, and it's 3-1.
Of course, with 2 strikes, you have to protect the plate. You really can't look for any spot or any pitch. You just have to protect and try and hit it where it's pitched. React to anything, but before that, pretty good chance you're going to get something away.
You know, we had Doug Melvin on earlier today, and he was mentioning the discussion that is going on between all the general managers and those that are thinking about trades. And he's saying, you know, you never know about injuries to division leaders and teams you're chasing. And Joey Votto, as he referenced, injured today, going to maybe miss a month with a knee injury. There's a strike called on the inside corner. That's his best fastball of the day, 96 miles an hour, and Weeks is letting Bob Davidson have it on his way out.
Yep, down and in. The first time Bob Davidson is called anywhere close to the inside corner.
Well, Maldonado steps in, having shown himself very well in the major leagues at the plate. He has a .282 batting average coming in. He's coming off an 8-hit series against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
He's doing most of his damage like everybody else when they're swinging the bat well, up the middle into the opposite field. Sounds like a broken record, but that's pretty much the case. When you see a hitter staying back, seeing the baseball, and you see a stretch where he's, 6 for 11, 6 for 12, he's pretty much going up the middle. No way you can go to a stretch like that and pull everything.
Oh, and 2 on Maldonado. But aside from the Votto injury, tonight, Blue Jays All-Star outfielder Jose Bautista left the game with a left wrist injury. Injured his wrist after fouling off a pitch.
He does take a violent swing up there at the plate.
That could change things for the Blue Jays, who are trying to fight their way back as Maldonado strikes out. And Lance Lynn with back-to-back Ks in this 5th inning gives him 7 for the game. Well, Sundays on Fox Sports Wisconsin, you can join Tom Brokaw for Boys in the Hall. This week it's Frank Robinson. Boys in the Hall Sundays presented by Subway Restaurants, where winners eat. 2 outs for Cody Ransom. Seven Ks for Lance Lynn. And Ransom was a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning.
Yadier Molina's going out there asking Lance Lynn if he's okay. Remember on that last pitch that he struck Maldonado out. Kind of fell off the mound. A little bit funny. That's the benefit of having a guy like Yadier Molina as your catcher. He acts like it's like having another coach out there. And here comes the trainer, Mike Matheny, coming out to check on his starter. Lance Lynn saying, I'm okay, I just tripped. I'm fine. He didn't just trip, though.
Oh, looks like something more than that.
He gave a little bit something in his leg. He kind of landed with that left leg and kind of spun around as if there was something going on right there.
Derek Lilliquist, the Cardinal pitching coach, out with the athletic training staff.
And only Yadier Molina saw it. Something that Lynn did after he corrected himself and got back out there on the mound. Something he usually doesn't do. Maybe a look on his face. He's a good one right there.
He's the best.
Not many better than Yadier Molina. Every facet of the game behind home plate. Calling a game, understanding pitching, blocking the baseball, throwing, receiving the baseball. I mean, he's just every bit as good as Pudge Rodriguez ever was.
Tony La Russa put it best. We asked him on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you put Molina? He said a 20. That's what he means to the ball club. Well, Lynn comes right back with a slider strike on Cody Ransom. One ball, one strike. Each club with 3 hits, and nobody's been able to score just yet. Big Lance Lynn, he's 6'5", 250.
And only 25 years old.
Cardinals very pleased with their minor league pitching, developing pitching from the minor leagues. Lance the latest to make it. That bounces over the glove of David Freese. Extra bases here for Cody Ransom. So Ransom into second base on a tough hop. Freese trying to make a backhanded stop. Looked very similar to the Pedro Alvarez play yesterday.
It looked like Freese had a beat on it. Just went off the end of his glove and down toward the tarp. Let's see if that's going to be a double or a 2-base error.
Cody Ransom safe at second, safe and secure New York life. And the question came up yesterday with Pedro Alvarez. Same goes for David Freese. If you get your body in front of it, it's a much tougher throw. It's hard to throw out a base runner from that spot. All your momentum is away. That will be a base hit, by the way, for Ransom, a double.
Well, they gave Ricky a base hit on the one yesterday, so if that's a hit, this has got to be a hit. It's the same play.
Be a good spot for Mike Fiers to deliver his first major league hit. Hoping Lance Lynn can hit his bat. Lynn's tough on position players tonight. Much less guys who don't hit all that often. This is only the 8th career at bat for Fiers. Contact. Well, the one on the left yesterday, Ricky Weeks,
hit his a lot harder than the one Cody Ransom hit. And then both of them doubles.
Fires a little tapper toward the middle. And the throw in time. Nice play at second base. Daniel Descalso takes care of the inning, and we head to the 6th.
Greater than an enemy, above an opponent, beyond a foe, a rival, born from repetition and bound through content, seasons unto themselves. Two teams striving to share one division, an annual grudge, a brutal ritual, a furious reunion. 15 games that last 365 days. Where there is more than victory, there's legacy and misery and history. There is rivalry.
Another tight one between these rivals tonight. No score, top six, and NL RBI leader Carlos Beltran of the Cardinals given the night off. Card skipper Mike Matheny says after a 10-game homestand, played mostly in 100-degree heat and then traveling to the All-Star game, Beltran is just tired. He's hit just one home run since June 13th. Matheny says while he's happy that Carlos made the All-Star team, he probably could have used 3 days off. So the Brewers announcing today that they would rest Zach Greinke. The Cardinals announcing they're going to rest one of their stars as well, guys.
And we'll see, obviously, Beltran most likely in the lineup tomorrow. We'll probably see Lance Berkman back in the lineup tomorrow as well. Berkman's coming back from knee surgery. But that's the one thing you have to remember about Major League managers. And obviously they take a lot of criticism. And there's a lot of discussion about moves that are made. But nobody knows the personnel of their club better than the manager. And sometimes you have to take a bullet, for lack of a better word, to get some rest for one of your players so you can have them for the long haul. Especially in the National League when you have so many moving parts. Beltran will be available to pinch hit today. So that's a hitter that is certainly in the mind of Ron Roenicke as we move forward in this game. And we move to the 6th inning now. Scoreless. Mike Fiers and Lance Lynn hooked up in a dandy. These are two guys that don't have a whole lot of experience in the major leagues. Mike Fiers making just his 8th career major league start. Lance Lynn number 20 of his young career. 26-year-old Fiers against the 25-year-old Lynn.
And both of them putting up zeros and doing it in much different fashions. Lance Lynn doing it with power with the fastball, and Mike Fiers doing it with a good combination of all speed pitches and able to get that fastball by these Cardinal hitters.
Alan Craig leads away for St. Louis in the 6th. And a strike on a hook from Fiers. 1-2 to count.
There's a stretch of about 4 curveballs that Fiers had a tough time throwing it over, but he has not had much of a problem since. He's got to be able to throw that for strikes.
Ball and 2 strikes. Fastball line to Hart for out number 1. Craig hit it hard, but right at the Brewer first baseman. Now Packers training camp starts in less than 2 weeks, and Paul Emig is analyzing one of the team's positions each weekday leading up to the start of practices. Check out the offensive line preview right now. You can catch up with the rest of the series at foxsportswisconsin.com. Yadier Molina has one of the 3 Cardinal hits tonight, and he swings at the first pitch. Ryan Braun settles under it, a towering fly ball for out number 2. Fiers developed quite a reputation in the Brewers minor league system as a bulldog competitor. I loved how he attacked hitters. Roenicke says that about Fiers and Thornburg, the 2 rookies that will start against the Cardinals in this series. And if the manager feels that way about you, probably a pretty good reason why you're in the big leagues.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. The manager likes your mentality and your approach. You know how you get a reputation like that? Taking a baseball every 5 days and throwing strikes, not messing around, not nibbling on the corners.
Competing without your best stuff at times. Yovani Gallardo joined us from the dugout earlier today, and he talked about the length of the season, and you're not always going to go out there feeling well. I mean, if you're a starting pitcher in the big leagues, you played. How often are you truly 100% once the season starts?
Well, feeling like you have your best stuff coming out of the bullpen. You talk to pitchers, they say half the time, if you're lucky.
That's just the way it goes.
You just got to be able to get through it. I mean, no big leaguer right now at this point in the season is 100%. Everybody's got something going on, something tugging at them, or a wrist that's sore, a finger maybe that's giving them some problems. You just got to keep plowing through. It's a long season.
Swing and a miss as David Freese chased one out of the zone.
And 2-ball, 1-strike fastball at 89 miles an hour, and it got right by him. Of course, it was head high.
Sends Freese in a little conversation with himself. See what he gives him here. 2-2, 2 outs. And a fastball. He was late, fouled it away.
Another guy that loves to use right center. Big power to the opposite field. You're going to pitch him away. Once again, it's got to be down.
Another 2-2. And a curveball that looped in there high. 3-2 the count. That's a good way to change a hitter's eye level. Make him duck. Not what he wanted, though. Fires disappointed in that last offering. Fires uses that curveball with a high fastball a great deal. See what he gives him here. Like a little changeup, and Freese draws the walk. A 2-out walk.
For just $13, Fair Friday packages include 1 ticket to Friday Brewers games and admission to the 2012 Wisconsin State Fair presented by U.S. Cellular. Visit brewers.com/State Fair.
A man on with 2 away for Matt Carpenter. 0 for 2 in this game against Fiers, and make it 0 for 3. Mike Fiers, the story tonight, matching Lance Lynn pitch for pitch, still scoreless. We go to the bottom of the 6th. By the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By the new Miller Lite Punch Top Can, it's Miller time. And by Marathon, fueling the American spirit. let's get you caught up on what's going on down in the minor leagues. Yesterday, Logan Schaefer hit 2 home runs, including a walk-off against the Albuquerque PCL club, the Isotopes. Tyrone Taylor, who was a pick this year in the draft, a second rounder by the Brewers, hit 2 home runs in yesterday's game for Helena. A couple of top performers in the minor leagues as Nori Aoki on the first pitch bounces to second base for out number 1.
And remember Caleb Gindel down in spring training? The Brewers really like him. He went 2 for 3 yesterday with a home run. Taylor Green, after getting sent down by the Brewers, picked up a ribby. And Willie Peralta really having a good time of it. 4-0 with a 1.88 ERA over his last 6 starts.
That's the name that keeps popping up. Willie Peralta looks like he's turned things around. And by the way, Mark Rogers went 7 innings tonight for Nashville, gave up just 1 earned run, so he's had back-to-back terrific starts for the Nashville Sounds. That'd be something if Mark Rogers would surface back in the big leagues again. It's been a long road for him. Lance Lynn against Carlos Gomez with 1 away. Gomez has 2 hits against Lance Lynn. 2 of the 4 hits at the plate presented by Wendy's. His single in the 3rd inning actually ended the inning as he was trying to stretch it into a double, and he was thrown out by Skip Schumacher. Ryan Braun is on deck. Brewers haven't been able to do much against Lance Lynn tonight. Same goes for the Cardinal offense against Mike Fiers. And he got him, just pouring the fastball in. Gomez is out number 2 and strikeout number 8. Well, do you want a chance to sleep in Miller Park? Rock's here. The 4th annual Field of Sweet Dreams is set for the evening of Saturday, August 25th. Tickets are now on sale for this truly unique experience. Get a full-length movie. You can order tickets at brewers.com/sweetdreams, or you can call 414-902-4424. Spend the night on the field in the ballpark and pay a visit to Bill Schroeder up here in the booth.
Maybe do an instructional out there. Maybe setting up a tent.
Could probably knock off a few of them on tape.
How you get a sleeping bag ready for the night.
How you pick up sunflower seeds out of the infield grass or just outside the infield grass. Ryan Braun with 2 away, and there's strike 2, and Braun is not happy with Bob Davidson. Lynn struck him out looking in the 1st inning, and Braun was barking then.
So you got to tip your hat to Lance Lynn. He's going right after Ryan Braun. He's not messing around. You don't see that too much. See a lot of pitchers trying to work their way, throw a bunch of breaking pitches, get Ryan to chase, but he's attacking him with good fastballs tonight.
Look how far Molina sets up outside. I don't blame him.
That's a good pitch right there. That didn't miss by much.
Molina jumping into the left-handed hitter's batter's box.
You're supposed to keep both feet in that catcher's box. Nobody ever does it.
I think Braun thought he was rung up. Here's the 1-2, and Braun chases this time. Lance Lynn 3 up and 3 down, add 2 more strikeouts to the book. 9 Ks for Lance Lynn, on top of his game so far. courtesy of Toyota, and it has been all about the pitching here tonight. Lance Lynn has 9 strikeouts through 6 shutout innings. The Brewers have 4 hits. Carlos Gomez has 2 of them. Meanwhile, Mike Fiers has answered Lynn pitch for pitch. 6 shutout innings for Mike Fiers. 3 strikeouts for Fiers. He has 4 walks in this game. Cardinals have had more opportunities to score, but Fiers has been able to strand a few base runners in this one. 6 so far. And we remain scoreless going to the 7th inning. You see the numbers on Fiers. 94 pitches. And he will face Daniel Descalso to lead off for the Cardinals in the top of the 7th. Batting in the 8th spot in Mike Matheny's batting order. Descalso has stranded 4 base runners on in this game today. And he was a key at bat in the 4th inning. Cardinals had 2 on and 1 out, and Fiers got him to a ground out to end the inning. Retired Carpenter and Descalso to end the 4th. Fiers has been on some kind of roll for the Brewers over his last 4 starts leading up to tonight. That ties him up, a foul tip for a strike, and it's 2-2. Fiers has gone a stretch now of 33 2/3 innings and only 3 earned runs allowed in those 33 plus.
He's been able to keep the Cardinals offense off the board, even though he's given up a season high 4 walks today. Very unusual for Fiers to walk 4 batters.
Has stranded all of them. 4 walks and 3 hits, all 7 base runners.
I don't know how you reward a hitter for not swinging at that pitch, but Bob Davidson didn't call it.
Back inside goes Maldonado, and that one's fouled away. Cardinals still trying to settle in on a second baseman. They've used Tyler Green, Daniel Descalso. Skip Schumacher looked like he was going to be their everyday second baseman for a while under Tony La Russa, when they converted him from the outfield to second base prior to the 2010 season. Matheny likes Schumacher in the outfield. John Jay's a struggling hitter right now, so Schumacher gets to start in center tonight, and Descalso at second base. That one is ripped to right. Aoki can't get there. He'll play it on a hop. And a long battle results in a leadoff single for the Cardinals.
Yeah, it looked like Descalso was struck out a couple of pitches ago. You give him an extra swing, and he's able to get a base hit to right. The leadoff single for the Cardinals. Left an off-speed pitch up in the strike zone, and Aoki plays it safe. He gives up the single. Didn't want the ball to get by him.
That'll give Lance Lynn a chance to drop a bunt down. Has 5 of them this year. He's done very well at the plate. Cardinals had their leadoff hitter aboard in the 2nd inning. A leadoff single by Freese. Fiers retired the next 3 hitters. But he was facing the bottom of the order in that inning. This time around, they'll have to go to the top of the order. Well, the corner infielders are really crashing in, Ramirez and Hart. Anything firm on the ground, if those 2 specifically pick the ball up, they've got a chance to turn 2.
Yeah. And Lynn doesn't run all that well. Jose Oquendo, the third base coach, was down and had a chat with Lynn, perhaps to take off the bunt play. And Lynn's going to try and bunt the ball toward Corey Hart. He has to hold the runner.
And here they come, and Lynn bunts it foul, 1-2. When that ball gets to home plate, Aramis Ramirez is, what do you say, 30 feet, 40 feet from home plate.
Yeah. And if Lance Lynn bunts it over his head, that's a base hit, right? He's creeping in a little bit. The pitch is on its way, and here he comes.
1-2 pitch. Lynn bunts right through it. A strikeout for Fiers. So there's an out. Fiers with his 4th strikeout. 3 of them have come against Lance Lynn, the pitcher.
Yeah, the other one to call strike 3 on Matt Holliday back in the 3rd inning.
Well, now back to the top of the order. And the challenge begins for Fiers. Cardinals had never seen Fiers until tonight. Now the 4th time through the batting order is for call. Bounces one. Fiers knocks it down and gets the out. And he's upset at himself. You can't fight your reactions, but that had a chance to maybe be 2, at least get the lead out at second base.
Yeah, if he let it go, I think Cody Ransom might have been able to take a double play. That ball was headed right to the bag at second. And if he keeps it in his glove, it's a double play. So 2 chances for a double play, but not able to keep the ball in his glove. You see where Cody Ransom was going to be. He was going to catch that ball right on the bag and throw out for call. But he got one.
The second out. And here's Skip Schumacher. Takes strike 1. Fiers is throwing them all for strikes tonight. Fastball, curveball, changeup. There's a curveball. Beauty. And that's got to put a thought in Schumacher's mind. You made a good point, Rock. He weathered a storm when he didn't have his curveball for a few innings there, and he was able to pitch around it.
It's around in the 3rd, 4th inning.
0-2. Well, this crowd of over 30,000 ready to embrace Mike Fiers if he can finish off this 7th inning. He's at 111 pitches. Curveball hit in the air to left. Braun is there. Mike Fiers. 7 shutout. We head to the home 7th, stretch time in Milwaukee. No score. It'll be Ramirez to lead off. They'll be followed by Hart and Weeks. 7 shutout against the St. Louis Cardinals. The top offense in the National League statistically. And he shuts him out on 4 hits through 7. And now we'll see if the Brewers can give him some run support. Lance Lynn has been at the top of his game tonight. He has 9 strikeouts, and he has barely let the Brewers up for air. They've had 2 runners reach second base in this game.
And neither team has really hit the ball all that hard against either starting pitcher tonight. And you would think that Mike Fiers' night is over.
He had one of those job well done exhales after he recorded that last out on Skip Schumacher. I think knowing this would be his last hitter or his last inning. Well, he's done a great job for the Brewers. Who saw that coming?
Well, that's an understatement, isn't it? Bottom of this rotation for Milwaukee has been extremely good. Mike Fiers, Marco Estrada. What more can you ask from either one of those guys?
Ramirez gets sawed off in foul territory. Craig hauls it in for the first out. As good as Fiers was in 7 shutouts, nothing to sniff at. But Lance Lynn, he is pitching at a different level right now. He is just flat out dominating the Brewers.
He had a very good start his last time out, but he had a stretch of 3 consecutive starts where he allowed 17 earned runs. Earned run average in that stretch was just shy of 10.
You can't blame Corey Hart trying to bunt his way on. That gives you an idea of how tough Lynn is tonight. Brewers need a mistake. Hart sends one to center field. Did they get one? It is back and it is gone. A home run for Corey Hart. He got a mistake and he didn't miss it. And the Brewers have the lead 1-0 on Hart's 17th home run of the season.
Oh, it had that sound. Brewers haven't hit many that had that sound tonight. There's your run.
Hart extends his hitting streak to 10 games on his 17th homer of the year. Lynn hasn't made many mistakes all night, but when he did to Hart, he didn't miss it. That was a classic Corey Hart home run, a high towering fly ball that bounces off the batter's eye beyond the fence.
He got one up out over the plate. Looked like one of those sliders that flattened out. Knocked it out of here.
Ricky Weeks on the ground to short. For call makes the play for out number 2. Marshfield Clinic's shining moment of the game. Corey Hart goes deep.
And it was a flat slider that didn't do much, and Corey Hart back into center field. Perfect technique. Look at the head down right on that baseball at the point of contact, and high towering shot that bounces off the scoreboard.
Ed Cedar all smiles as he greets Corey Hart. And for Hart, his first home run since the 3rd of July when he homered here at Miller Park against the Marlins. Corey Hart is putting together quite a season offensively, not to mention what he's doing at first base. He is currently 2nd in the National League in extra base hits behind only Joey Votto after that home run. 45 extra base hits, 17 homers, 24 doubles, and 4 triples. And Votto's going to go on the shelf for a while with a knee injury. That was reported today. He's going to have surgery on a torn meniscus.
Well, that's what a first baseman's supposed to do, right?
Good point, Rock. If you're going to play the corners, you got to put up the numbers, right?
Yep, you have to get the extra base hit, be a run producer, and Corey Hart, just the guy for the job.
Well, the Brewers lost a slugging first baseman. Wondering how they were going to replace Prince Fielder. They had one all along. He was just in right field. One and two to Martin Maldonado. Good hack as he fouls it back. Well, now the Brewers with a lead into the late innings. Fires is out. Frankie Rodriguez heating up in the bullpen. Tough part of the order coming up against K-Rod. What they call the leverage portion of the batting order with Holiday and Craig and Yadier Molina. That one didn't miss by much. And Bob Davidson.
If anybody would know about that strike zone, it would be Maldonado. About a quarter inch outside. Good eye.
Davidson gave a quick shoo off to the Cardinals dugout. They were barking for that call. 2-2 now. And Maldonado into center field, a base hit. And Lance Lynn is hopping mad on the mound. He was barking at Davidson as that ball landed safely in center field.
Now you remember the top of the 7th inning, Descalso looked like he got struck out, got an extra swing, got a base hit to right. He left that one up in the strike zone. He turns around right away, does Lance Lynn, and looks at the home plate umpire. Let's just say, to take it easy on him, saying he was turning around to Yadier Molina, upset with himself about location.
Yes, exactly.
That's what it was.
All in the heat of the battle. You know, if I was pitching, I'd want that pitch too. But as Maldonado slapped one back up the middle, and
they left that one at 95 down the middle, and Maldonado, he handles that high fastball pretty well.
Yes, he does. That is now 9 hits on the homestand for Maldonado in 4 games. Cody Ransom, who doubled off Lynn in the 5th inning, hit a hot ground ball that David Freese tried to backhand. It went over his glove and down into the corner. Ransom has that sneaky power. The Brewers steal a quick 2 here after Hart goes deep to give him a 1-0 lead. Fires now with a chance to win the game courtesy of Corey Hart. 6 big outs to get defensively for the Brewers to do so. Travis Ishikawa will hit 4 fires should his spot come up in this inning. Ransom has to reach. And it's 2-2. Ransom had the count in his favor, 2-0. Now 2-2. Maldonado at first. A run is in on a Corey Hart homer. And Ransom stays alive. Start the day with the Reds with a 1-game lead in the division. Cincinnati hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. Matter of fact, that game's over. Arizona's won 5-3 after the D-backs got swept by the Cubs. Rookie Wade Miley with his 10th win tonight. 2-2 pitch, down and away, gets by Molina. And that changes things here in the inning as Maldonado ends up at second base, now in scoring position with 2 away.
Molina, all he could do is try and backhand it, and hopefully he got it. The slider off the outside corner. And now the Brewers catcher in scoring position, not a guarantee that he will score on a base hit.
Full count, 2 outs. Cody Ransom hoping to add 1 more to it. And down he goes. Lynn strikes him out. Inning is over, but Corey Hart delivers. He finally got a mistake from Lance Lynn, and he made it pay. Number 17 of the year for Hart. And the Brewers have a 1-0 lead as we go to the 8th.
When I go out there, I want to work the corners and work up and down, but at the same time I want to throw strikes and get outs as early as possible and get my team off the field. But yeah, I mean, right now I'm feel comfortable. I'm locating the ball well. I'm getting guys to swing the bat and trying to just miss barrels as much as I can. Just trying to get early outs and get off the field.
Miss barrels he did. That man did miss the barrel. Corey Hart.
Yeah, he did that well, Mike Fiers, tonight. When he talks about getting early outs and missing the barrel, the sweet spot, he did get a lot of balls that looked like they were going to travel a little bit, but down on the trademark, a couple of balls that were down on the end. So Corey Hart barreled up Lance Lynn his last time up as K-Rod takes over for the 45th time this year. 2-4 record for Francisco Rodriguez.
He'll face Matt Holliday to start the 8th inning. Mike Fiers goes 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. In line for the win now after Hart delivered that home run off the scoreboard in center. Frankie Rodriguez, the Brewers setup man, will have to do the heavy lifting here with Holiday, Alan Craig, and Yadier Molina. Holiday and Molina specifically have been the two hottest hitters lately for the Cardinals.
But this is, as a general rule, a pretty good lineup up and down. I mean, that's what's so impressive about what Mike Fiers was able to do today. This is statistically the best offensive team in the league.
That one's driven into right center field. Aoki cuts it off, and Holiday is aboard. So there is the tying run, a leadoff single for Matt Holiday. Game 2 of the series tomorrow night, 6:30 is airtime. First pitch at 7:10. And then Wednesday, it's a day game, a matinee here at Miller Park, 12:30 airtime, 1:10 first pitch. Tyler Thornburg will start on Wednesday and not Zach Greinke. Tomorrow, Randy Wolf. Cardinals have set up their rotation as well. Wolf will match up against Joe Kelly tomorrow, and then Wainwright against Thornburg on Wednesday. Alan Craig takes a strike. That base hit by Matt Holiday, his first of the game, and that extends his hitting streak to 15 consecutive games. So Corey Hart, who stretched his to 10 in a row, and Holiday with 15. And now K-Rod could use a double play ball.
And keep in mind as this game goes on that Mike Matheny has two pretty big sticks on the bench. Lance Berkman, Carlos Beltran, John Jay, a left-hander on the bench. Berkman and Beltran switch hitters.
Well, it looked like the same pitch. Ball and a strike.
Look good on Fox tracks. Definitely a hitter's umpire tonight, Bob Davidson.
Alan Craig starting at first base for Berkman tonight. And that one's down in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Craig had off-season knee surgery. He was a little slow. He didn't make it on the opening day roster. And lately he's been nursing an injured wrist.
He had a good postseason for the Cardinals. It's big home runs.
Sure did. Carlos Beltran surfaces from the Cardinal clubhouse. John Jay in front of him. 2-1. 2-2. Brewers clinging to a 1-0 lead after Corey Hart broke a scoreless tie with a home run in the bottom of the 7th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Holiday at first after a leadoff single. And Craig takes a called strike 3. K-Rod all over the strike zone. Finally rings the bell for out number 1.
Well, Bob Davidson able to ring that one up. That one had plenty of the plate. Fastball away, and Maldonado hold it right there, and he gets the call.
Now Yadier Molina, the hottest of the Cardinal hitters. 3 hits yesterday against Cincinnati in a loss. Got a home run. He doubled. He drove in a pair. 6 hits in the Red Series in the 3 games. Molina's having a breakout year. You talked about the absence of Albert Pujols and the shadow that he certainly presented. He was the focal point offensively. Molina has picked up a great deal of that production. He's already posted a career best 15 homers. Has 48 runs batted in this year as well.
He's always been a good hitter as far as average goes, but he's starting to drive the ball. He's got the 15 dingers.
Well, he is the premier national league catcher. Buster Posey was the all-star starter. I don't think many managers would take Posey over Yadier Molina. Maybe only Bruce Bochy.
Right.
Nothing against
Posey, not bad, but
nothing against Posey.
He's no Yadier Molina.
Along with his big offensive numbers, he also has 4 consecutive Gold Gloves. Ball and a strike on Molina. The flip side to Molina and the power numbers is the fact that he does not run well, and he bounces into a number of double plays. He's grounded into 6 of them already this year. Strike on the corner. 1-2. David Freese scheduled to hit next. Bouncing ball, got a chance to turn it. Weeks will take it himself. The throw to first. Not in time. Molina beats it. Close play at first.
Well, that's about as fast as you're going to see Molina get down the line. Ricky Weeks, not really sure if he should have taken himself or flipped it over to Ransom. Ransom felt as though he should have given it to him, and if he did that, he would have turned the double play. You see Ransom waiting there, the momentum going away from first base for Ricky, and just not able to get enough on the throw.
Close play, but a good call at first base. And Molina extends the inning. And now David Freese will get a chance here in the 8th. 1-0 Brewers. They just took the lead on a Corey Hart homer in the bottom of the 7th. Freese tonight has a hit, and he's walked twice. He has not been retired. Had one of the 4 hits against Mike Fiers. Dangerous spot. Freese, an all-star. 290 hitter coming in. Bouncing ball, foul past third. It has been a frustrating night for the hitters. It's been interesting watching the body language after various swings and calls, and it's just been a well-pitched game tonight on both ends. K-Rod trying to work through a leadoff single. Holiday still at first base. He's the tying run. And Freese hits one on the ground to Weeks, and that will do it for the 8th. K-Rod puts up a 0. 1-0 Brewers. To the bottom of the 8th we go.
Brewers. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and Mike Fiers 7 scoreless innings. Outstanding job today once again for Mike Fiers.
You know, we talked in a pregame about a young pitcher and the adjustments they have to make. Tonight, early in the ball game, he had a little bit of a problem with his breaking ball. Really pitched well with his fastball and his changeup. Then he found his breaking ball, and boy, did he give the Brewers a good outing the rest of the way.
Mike Fiers, our Pizza Hut delivery of the game. How about his ERA sinking all the way down to 2.01 after his effort here tonight, and making some things happen on his own and in position to win the game thanks to Corey Hart's solo home run. Got to get through one more time, though, in the 9th inning. We're getting set for Brewers Live postgame as you take a look at Fiers' final line tonight. We'll take a closer look at that and hope to hear from Fiers as well, plus manager Ron Reineke after the game on Brewers Live. Ryan?
All right, thanks a lot, Craig and Augie. Just to advance the Fiers numbers as you look at Barrett Browning, left-hander out of the Cardinal bullpen. Fiers in his last 5 starts has a 0.78 earned run average, 34 2/3 innings, and he has only given up 3 earned runs in his last 5 starts.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, and the good thing about it, he's got a 1-0 lead and is in line for his 4th win.
Jeff Yankee will lead off. Slow roller, 2 for call, thrown to first, and it is in time for the out. The Yankee making a bid at his first big league hit. Call has such a great arm.
And he knew he had to be quick because the Yankee gets down the line very well. He charged that chopper and gave it all he got on the throw, got rid of it quickly, which is not an easy thing to do when you're running that fast coming in for a ground ball.
All-star shortstop by an eyelash. And the Yankee is retired. Back to the top of the order. Nori Aoki looking for his first hit of the night. By the way, Lance Lynn out of the game, 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, the home run by Hart. No walks, 10 strikeouts for Lance Lynn. And could wear a loss in this game.
Remember a few years ago, the Brewers beat Adam Wainwright in St. Louis 1-0 on a Corey Hart home run, but his home run that day came in the 2nd inning.
Good memory, Rock. I do remember that.
I remember some things.
Just those random wedges that walk their way in there somehow.
Yeah.
Text question tonight: how come Nori Aoki has hit left-handed hitters so well? Says Bert, or asked Bert.
He just hangs in there, and over in Japan he was very good against both right-handers and left-handers. He's hitting .306 as you see against lefties. This would be a good matchup for him. Browning, who got caught up at the end of June, has not allowed a base hit to a left-hander. They're 0 for 8. And after that ground out by Bianchi, hitters are 2 for 20.
There's one answer to the question. The fact that Aoki can recognize that, lay off that pitch.
Anytime you have a left-handed batter that does well against lefties, ordinarily they're very good at going to the opposite field. Because most left-handers are going to throw slider after slider to left-handed hitters. And you have to be willing to go to left field.
And Aoki draws the walk. Oh, what an at-bat. And a man on for Gomez. Time now for our AT&T reverse replay. Pitchers duel tonight. Lance Lynn and Mike Fiers hooked up in a beauty. Lynn striking out 10 through 7 innings, but he gave up the big home run to Hart. Mike Fiers matched him pitch for pitch. 7 shutout for Fiers. This was the mistake that cost Lynn. Long home run. Hart banged it off the scoreboard in center field. Have a pitching change here as Mike Matheny will make a double switch. A man on, Gomez coming up, and Matheny goes to the bench and brings on Beltran. We'll take a break. bottom of the 8th inning. Carlos Beltran in the game on the double switch. Say, if you want to learn the basics of baseball, stay tuned to Brewers Live. It's coming up as we break down the techniques and strategies of the game. Tonight's post-game instructional. And what are we going to have tonight, Rob?
We're going to have Jerry Augustine and myself break down why the curveball and the high fastball is an effective pitch, more effective than the curveball and the low fastball.
I love that.
And my role will be, before you ask,
what will your role be, Rob?
I'll be catching the pitches.
Nice. See the changes for the Cardinals. Beltran is in center field. Schumacher goes to second base. As Carlos Gomez takes a strike from Jason Mott.
And Descalso over at third base. So David Freese out of the ball game.
Freese made the last out. Beltran will hit third in the 9th. Nori Aoki with a 1-out walk. He's at first for Gomez.
Well, you knew you weren't going to be able to get through this game without seeing Beltran at the plate. Not a close game anyway.
Ryan Braun on deck. Gomez with 2 hits tonight. Had 2 hits against Lance Lynn, 2 of the 6. Had a single and a stolen base in the first. Singled in the third. He was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double, which ended the inning. Also made a couple of nice catches in this game. There goes Aoki. Hit and run is on. Gomez to right. That's pretty deep. And it'll be run down by Carpenter. And Aoki has to retreat. Boy, almost for Gomez.
Yeah, good opposite field power on that swing. Wow. Gomez nearly knocked one out of here. Another few feet. Well, Jason Mott on for the first time in the second half of the season, and he hasn't pitched since Friday before the All-Star break. That's a long layoff for a closer.
Well, Mott had such a great run in September and on through the postseason for the Cardinals last year, even though Tony La Russa would never officially name him as the closer. He was. And he was a good one. Ryan Braun with Aoki at first. Mott gives up a fastball into the gap. We'll see if Aoki can score. He's on his way. Cedar sends him home. The throw to the plate. And Aoki scores. Braun into third. 2-0 Brewers. As Ryan Braun drills one into the gap in right center.
That ball was spanked. I thought it might have been hit a little bit too hard for Aoki to be able to score, but the relay didn't have much on it. The problem that you have when you give your closer 9 days off. Ryan Braun, first pitch fastball, drills it off the wall. And a good relay in there by Carpenter, but not much on the throw in from Schumacher.
A big hit by Braun. A 2-out RBI. He ends up at third base. Double and an RBI for Braun. His 65th of the season. As Ramirez sends one in the air. Schumacher has it, and the side is retired. Ryan Braun goes to the top of the National League in RBIs. It's 2-0. John Axford on to try to nail it down. We go to the ninth. Runs at a premium tonight. Corey Hart with a home run in the 7th inning to break a scoreless tie. Finally getting to Lance Lynn, and then Nori Aoki scores on a Ryan Braun double into the right center field gap. 2-0 Brewers. We go to the 9th, and John Axford on the mound to try to save it. The Columbia St. Mary's save tracker. Axford at 16.
Picked up number 16 yesterday against the Pirates. 51 strikeouts in just 36 and a third innings this year for John. Looking for save number 17.
Scheduled to hit Matt Carpenter, Daniel Descalso, and Carlos Beltran. Anybody gets on, the Cardinals go back to the top of their order. Brewers trying to send the Cardinals to their 4th consecutive loss. They were swept in Cincinnati despite being in every game. As a matter of fact, they were either tied or had the lead in all 3 of those losses in Cincinnati as late as the 7th inning. It was a scoreless game until the 7th tonight. The front-running Reds have lost tonight. Brewers can get within 7 of the division leaders with a victory. 3 big outs to go.
Well, John Axford has relied heavily on his fastball in his last number of appearances, probably last dozen. And curveball imperative that he's been able to be able to find the strike zone with that pitch.
Carpenter late fouls it away. Francisco Rodriguez worked a scoreless 8th inning, did give up a leadoff single. But stranded a runner at first base. Now Axford. That was the formula yesterday in relief of Yovani Gallardo, who went 7 innings and 1 run. Tonight, Mike Fiers, 7 innings, no runs. Fiers hoping for win number 4 tonight. And an ERA that is just over 2. It's a 2.01 after his 7 shutout. Full count on Matt Carpenter. Well, that was a big run Braun brings in the bottom of the 8th.
Yep, a first pitch fastball from the Cardinals closer. A ringing double into right center. A little bit of insurance for Axford.
Lost him. Leadoff walk, never a good thing. Matt Carpenter is aboard, and the tying run will bat for the Cardinals. Lance Berkman will hit for St. Louis. Berkman just returning on Saturday to the active roster. He played his first game yesterday. Had knee surgery, and at the time he thought, and everybody thought, it might be season-ending knee surgery.
He was out 2 months and didn't even feel as though he needed to go down to rehab. Come off the disabled list and right back at it at the big leagues.
Had some big hits in the postseason last year as well, especially in the World Series. Berkman has just 46 at-bats this year. And this is just his 16th game. The Brewers are set up to turn 2. The 1-1 high and tight. Axford buzzes the tower.
You don't get many of those in batting practice. Lance Berkman, a guy that's not going to worry too much about that. He still covers the outside corner extremely well.
This is Berkman's power side. He's a switch hitter. All but 10 of his at-bats this year have come as a left-handed hitter. The more dangerous side of the plate. 2 balls and a strike. And Berkman hits one hard deep left center. Gomez is there. And retreating is Carpenter. On a line. But an out recorded. 1 gone in the 9th.
Yeah, it's all a matter of John Axford able to get the breaking pitches and the fastballs down in the strike zone. He got that one down and in. And then he misses up in the strike zone, backs him off the plate. And then Berkman a little bit tardy on the fastball that was down for a strike, and relatively easy out for Gomez in center.
And now Carlos Beltran with 1 out. He's been one of the best players in baseball in the first half. 20 homers, 65 RBIs. Braun is now tied with Beltran at the top of the RBI leaderboard with 65 after his double in RBI in the 8th. And Beltran is 3rd in the league in homers behind Braun. Cardinals went out and signed Beltran to try to pick up some of the production loss from Albert Pujols, and he has picked it up in a big way. Ooh, he got a good cut. Fouls it back. Mark Kincannon reporting earlier about Beltran's home run drought lately. Hasn't homered since the 24th of June. Mike Matheny giving him a day off from the starting lineup today because of the heat in St. Louis. He referenced all of the travel, the all-star travel.
That slows down a little bit when you get a little bit tired.
Three balls and a strike. Puts him in a big hitter's count.
And that's the big difference for John Axford this year as opposed to last year. Command of that curveball, even to throw that pitch for a strike. Very rarely, if ever, do hitters swing at it.
3-1. And Beltran lifts it high in the air to right field. Aoki's back. Looks like he's got room. And there's out number 2.
Quarter of an inch on the bat, maybe not even. He got under that one. He had a nice swing at a 3-1 fastball down in the zone. And John Axford very fortunate that that ball stayed in the ballpark. It was a 5-pitch at bat. He really tried to get him to chase the curveball. 2-1. And then on a fastball that was very hittable in the inner half of the plate, he just barely gets under it. Wow. He didn't miss that one by much. That was a 3-1 fastball.
Two gone. Top of the order, Rafael Furcal. Loves that first pitch in spots like this. And he lays off a curveball from Axford. 2 long, loud outs by Berkman and Beltran. Two 2-0 on Furcal. Tying run at the plate. Furcal is hitless tonight. He's 0 for 4. There's a strike. 3-1. Another dangerous count to an all-star shortstop.
He doesn't hit many home runs, but he hit a fair amount against Milwaukee last year. Hasn't hit one since the beginning of June.
He was late. He was hunting the fastball, and he still couldn't turn on it.
A little tardy.
3 balls, 2 strikes. The runner at first. Matt Carpenter will be off with the pitch. Brewers winning the series over the Pirates. Took 2 out of 3. Trying to win the opener here against the Cardinals. Full count. Runner goes for call. Bounces 1 to third. Ramirez. And for call will reach. Would have been a tough play. Even if he comes up with it cleanly, going to be tough to throw him out. But the ball game continues here. And now the tying run is aboard on an infield hit by Furcal.
Yeah, Furcal able to get on top of a high fastball in the mid-90s. Just kind of chops it down the line. It would have been close had Ramirez been able to keep it in the glove. But you can see how far off the line he's playing. Angling back and just couldn't hold on. Well, pretty good speed on the bases, particularly at first base. Brewers outfield is going to be very deep. Trying to cut off that extra base hit, cut off the gaps a little bit.
Rick Kranitz out for a visit with John Axford. Skip Schumacher, the batter. Got Matt Holliday coming up next if Schumacher reaches. Tying run is aboard. Schumacher representing the go-ahead run. And this one coming right down to the wire tonight. 2-0 Brewers, 9th inning. And Schumacher takes a ball. Curveball just hasn't been there for Axford.
No.
And if you're a Cardinal hitter, you certainly know that.
That curveball is the equalizer. When he's able to throw that for strikes, he can dominate.
Got to give him a fastball. And he gets one, and he's late. That's the benefit of having a mid to upper 90s fastball. Never had a hit against Axford. He's 0 for 4. Late again. 97 that time, and it's 1-2 on Schumacher. And decision time for Axford and Maldonado.
Now this is the time when if he drops that curveball, you know you're going to get him. He's probably not going to swing at it. Let's see if they try one here. Be a good time for it.
Axford and the Brewers an out away, a strike away from a victory. The 1-2 high fastball. 2-2.
Now this is the pitch you want to get it done on. You don't want to give the Cardinals a head start on the bases. Give Furcal a head start, he could score on a double.
And he's the tying run at first. What does he give him? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball. Too much. Trying to reach back for a little extra, and he misfired. And it's 3-2 now.
Well, now you're going to give the base runners a head start, which makes it a little bit more likely that Furcal will be able to score the tying run on an extra base hit.
Brewers have very good arms in the outfield with Braun and Gomez and Aoki. Gomez has the strongest arm in center. Furcal can fly at first base. He's one of the fastest Cardinals. Axford's got to make a pitch. Full count, 2 outs. There they go, and it is inside, ball 4. The bases are loaded. Went to the curveball, and Schumacher is aboard. And here comes Matt Holliday.
And last guy you want to see in this situation. You had a couple of guys that you wouldn't figure to hit a home run or really drive the baseball. Now you do. 2 walks and an infield hit, and John Axford now has the tying run at second base.
And remember the outs. Berkman lined out to deep left center, and Beltran just missed one on the bat. Sent it to the warning track and right. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Holliday. Matt Holliday extended his hitting streak to 15 in a row with a single in the 8th. A base hit could tie it. And Holliday, he's late. Ball and a strike.
High fastball, much more difficult to get to than a low fastball, but if you take them, they're balls.
Renicky and Kranitz in case Holliday should reach. A lot of pitches for Axford. He's already thrown 30 in this inning. A win on the line for Fiers. 2-1. Holliday in the driver's seat. 2 walks and an infield hit in this inning. But Axford has been behind just about every hitter. Chased one. 2-2 on Matt Holliday.
Man, that wasn't even close. Holliday a little anxious, and John Axford gets a break. Instead of 3-1, it's 2-2.
Little July drama between the 2 rivals. The last 2 teams standing in the postseason last year in the National League. 2-2 the count. Bases loaded. Tying run at second. And Holliday bounces one to the right side. A base hit. And this ball game is tied. Another blown save for John Axford. Holliday found a hole between first and second.
Well, it was all fastballs to Matt Holliday, and that at bat was a 5-pitch at bat. Got even in the count with a fastball. Then it got to 2-1, and then Holliday apparently gave Axford a bit of a break right there. Pitch out of the strike zone. Then he came down with basically the same pitch, a little bit down in the zone, and able to sneak one into right field to tie it up. The inability to throw a breaking ball for strikes has cost John Axford here tonight.
And now it's Alan Craig as Axford finally drops a curveball in for a strike. Now you're just trying to get it to the bottom of the 9th, still tied at 2. The Cardinals have come back down to their last strike. Holliday delivers with 2 RBIs. 0-2 on Craig. It's the 6th blown save for John Axford this year. The Brewers will have Corey Hart lead off the bottom of the 9th. Hart, Weeks, and Maldonado. Craig into shallow left field. That's going to fall. And the Cardinals are going to take the lead. Another 2-strike hit. 3-2 St. Louis.
Yep, it was a hanging breaking ball. That one up in the eyes of Alan Craig on a 2-strike pitch. And he just tomahawks it. Didn't hit it hard, but able to dump it into left. And now the Cardinals with a 3-run ninth take the lead. My, oh my.
All 3 runs with 2 outs as Axford exits. Renicky to the bullpen. John Axford just didn't have it again tonight. 6th blown save. And giving up a game-tying 2 RBI single to Matt Holliday, and Alan Craig gives the Cardinals the lead here in the 9th. And now Cameron Lowe trying to hold it to a 1-run deficit as the Brewers hope to get it to the bottom of the 9th.
And just not able to throw the curveball for strikes, and because of that, not able to get the fastball by these hitters. As Cameron Lowe takes over for the 39th time this year. 412 earned run average for Cameron.
Yadier Molina, the batter, with 2 on. Brewers were a strike away from a shutout.
Walk to Carpenter, and then you get Berkman and Beltran on fly balls, and then the Cardinals play small ball and end up taking the lead.
Fakal had the infield hit. Matt Holliday found a hole between first and second. Didn't hit it hard, but a couple of key walks in the inning. Both of those walks scoring. Fiers walked 4 in his 7 innings. And none of them scored. Not the case for Axford as Lowe delivers strike 1 to Molina. It's a shame Fiers doesn't get a victory out of this one after 7 shutout. Molina right center. Gomez is there. The inning is over. The Cardinals score 3 runs, all with 2 outs. Do the Brewers have a comeback in them? They're down 3-2 now. in this one, a 2 RBI single, which tied the game. 2 outs and 2 strikes on Holiday. He ties it up. The Cardinals get an RBI single from Alan Craig. That put him in the lead. John Jay is out there in center field defensively. That moves Beltran to right. And now the Brewers step up to the plate in the bottom of the 9th inning. Down a run. 3-2 Cardinals. Jason Mott, who came into the game in the 8th inning and gave up that RBI double by Braun, he stays in. Corey Hart to lead off, then Ricky Weeks, followed by Martin Maldonado. Matt Carpenter moves over to third base as well. In from right field.
A lot of moving pieces for this Cardinals ball club defensively. Well, the 2 guys you were worried about on the bench did not get it done for the Cardinals, but the top of the order did. One of those leadoff walks.
Came with 2 strikes as well. We'll see if the Brewers can take their closer off the hook tonight as Corey Hart swings and misses. Every base runner that reached in that 9th inning for the Cardinals had 2 strikes on him. 2 walks and 3 hits. See the numbers for Corey Hart. Career against Jason Mott, 2 hits in 10 at-bats. Mott has gone more than 1 inning on 8 occasions this year. It's something that Matheny does often with his closer. But as Rock pointed out last inning, he has not pitched since the 7th of July, which is an eternity for a closer.
Yeah, I said it was Friday before the All-Star break, actually Saturday before the All-Star break, and that is a long time. I mean, not many managers are going to allow their closer to sit in that bullpen that long without getting work. Which is probably why he brought in Mott in the 8th inning. Not many closers come into a game on the road down by a run in the 8th inning.
2-2. And Hart takes ball 3. Well, the Brewers are 1 swing away from tying this one up. Ricky Weeks on deck. Hart homered to break a scoreless tie in the 7th inning. And Mott strikes him out. 1 gone in the 9th. First strikeout for Jason Mott.
Yep, high fastball, and Corey just couldn't get a piece of it. High fastball, tough to get to up in the strike zone. That's basically going to give you a fastball and a slider. He's got pretty good command. He doesn't walk too many. And the fact that he's only walked 1 in his last 5 appearances before tonight.
So Ricky Weeks with 1 away. As a hit tonight, he's 1 for 3. Strike 1, well-placed fastball at 99 miles an hour. Well, the Brewers had it right where they wanted. 2-0 going into the 9th. Cardinals down to their last out, even down to their last strike. But they came up off the deck. Cardinals were swept in Cincinnati over the weekend. Cardinals are the team ahead of the Brewers now in the division standings. Cincinnati at the top, then the Pirates. One and 2 on Weeks. 2 gone in the 9th. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jason Mott. Looked like the same pitch.
Yeah, 99 miles an hour. Tough to get to, and puts it right on the corner. Good location by Mott. Weeks comes up empty.
So it is the Brewers down to their last out. And here is Martin Maldonado. Maldonado singled his last time up. And they say he went. Ryan Gorman raises the thumb on him. 0-1 the count on Maldonado. Mott has been content to pitch away. As Maldonado turns on one. Nice play over at third base by Carpenter, and that's the ball game. And the Cardinals win. And the toughest loss of the year right there for the Milwaukee Brewers. One that got away. Cardinals win it 3-2. Mott wins it. John Axford suffers the loss. And the Cardinals win the first game of this 3-game series. Much more still to come on this one. We check in with Craig Cashon for Brewers Live.
Okay, Brian, thanks very much. This might be a very quiet clubhouse, but we're going to go inside and find out what happened in this game with the Brewers. They lose it 3-2 to the Cardinals. Also hear from Ron Renneke, plus our on-field instructional with Rock and Augie when we come back.